This is Talk is Sheep, the official podcast of the Wild Sheep Society of BC, brought to you by SITKA. Come along as we bring conversations that matter to you into the high alpine. Mr. Greg Rensmag, 116, my friend. Here we are again, you and I.
Oh, yeah, the big kahuna, Kyle Stelter. How's it going, buddy?
But you got to stop calling me that. It's really bad. Even CEO, it's so bloody ostentatious. But it was like either that or executive director, and I begged the board, please let me use CEO, but I feel it's a little ostentatious.
We're just going to switch it to the chief cook and bottle washer. You keep saying it, it's going to stick.
I like that one. I'm good with it. That's more my speed. But this was a fun one, man. Episode 116 with Ty and Waycee, and what Waste Dog, is that his handle? Waste Dog, or
Waste Dog's the handle.
The nanny whisperer, was that what it was?
I think so. Make nanny hunting great again, or something crazy he was saying. It's just a character, both those guys.
Yeah, and just to be clear, we're not advocating that you go out and shoot any nannies. Just but this is a great talk with Ty and Waycee about Wilderness Locals, what they got going on. And here's some cool stories. It was kind of fun to actually hear Ty give Waycee a hard time about dragging him back to the truck after however long that goat hunt was, right? So
yeah, there's some interesting pictures floating around from that goat hunt. I had a good chuckle when he sent them over, but don't worry, we won't be sharing those. You got to go straight to the source for those ones.
Yeah, you shared it. You're like, you cannot use this one. And we're like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, we don't want to make the locals mad at us. So,
no.
So on the topic, we talk lots about goats on this one, and you and I were just discussing the great work that the Rocky Mountain Goat Alliance does for conservation. We love working with those guys, and just again looking after those tiny little white things that with small horns that wish they were all sheep, but just kidding aside. But no, it's great alliance. The alliance is a great organization and really good people over there doing good things for wild goats and nannies.
Just
billies and nannies.
Hard not to say wild sheep in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, it'll be good. They're going to be at our Kamloops show, it's here. Our RMGA is going to have a booth there, which will be exciting. Have them, our first real show attached to the show, so that'll be a nice little piece.
Yeah, and for all those that registered for Kamloops, there's something a little special there this year too. There's what somebody's bringing something that people want to see. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's that little horned thing.
What is it? Is it
world...
the Chadwick goat or something? The Chadwick?
Yeah, the Kaluski goat. Right, the world record. No big deal, right?
The new world record. Yeah. But it like, you know what? Like, think about it though, right? It only beat the old one by 3 inches. So like, think about 3 inches is only that long. Like, it's nothing, right? So yeah. Really cool. So we had Justin on in the previous podcast, and just had a great listen. He's going to be coming out to the show, and he's bringing the goat with him. He's going to have it at the Alliance's booth, and it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be really cool to see him again, see that goat, and it's just a great way to celebrate the weekend and conservation. And again, if you get a company like Rocky Mountain Goat Alliance or an organization or not-for-profit out there looking after those species, and look, we got a new world record, right? And it's maybe it's a freak, maybe there's abnormal circumstances, but pretty safe to say if the Alliance wasn't doing what they do on the landscape, there'd probably be less goats out there. So anyway, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's excellent, and they're doing excellent work, and our volunteers are their volunteers, and we're crossing, and I'm sure you're a member, I'm a life member. Just it all seems to be part and parcel between the Goat Alliance and the Sheep Society. One big happy family.
You're a life member too? What's your number?
Oh, I don't know the number.
Come on, buddy.
I got no idea, to be honest.
You probably don't even have your challenge coin with you, do you?
I got an ignorant amount with me. I think I got a backpack full from Reno.
It does not count. You cannot pull out your backpack and put all 100 on the table. Okay, you're safe. That's funny. Well, so Kamloops this weekend. For those of you that haven't checked our show out yet, you probably should. It's a heck of a good time. It's a great time to get together. A bunch of conservationists get together, chatting about wild sheep. We talk about sheep hunting. We talk about taking some sheep, but we talk about more about putting them on the mountain. And just a great group of guys and gals that really care about wild sheep. And, we talk about our wild sheep family, and you sure feel it in Kamloops. So if you missed us this year, look us up next year. We'll be back. It's always that second week of March, and love to see you. But with that, I'd say we talk to Ty and Waycee on episode 116 of The Wilderness Locals. Enjoy. This episode is sponsored by our conservation partner, Precision Optics. Thank you, SITKA Gear and Precision Optics, for investing in healthy wildlife and sustainable ecosystems. Well, good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Talk is Sheep. Waycee, Tyler, good to have the Wilderness Locals on the pod.
Thanks for having us.
So we got the main man, Greg, on board tonight, and he's going to take us through. He's been a fanboy from day one, so he knows all the goings on. So we're recording this remotely, and what's up with Waycee? What's with the name there, Nanny King? What's going on there? That's your handle there tonight. So what's going on there? Is there a story there you want to share with us, or what?
No, I just want to make killing nannies great again.
No.
It's a terrible start.
On the software that we record on, I can't ever change my name because it's just like the admin account. And Waycee always puts something ridiculous in, so nobody ever gets to see it. But so apparently now Waycee's the nanny king. This is great. I'm glad.
Put you guys up on a pedestal for the Wilderness Locals.
Good. Thanks, Waycee.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to start with just a thank you to both you guys, actually. You're supporters of the Wild Sheep Society. Ty, you reached out right away when we launched our Act Now campaign, asking how you could help, and you've been hammering that out on your guys' podcast. I think you're at 106 episodes in, and you're still running a Support the Wild Sheep Society of BC ad on every cast. Like, it's outstanding, and we truly appreciate that. And I think you're a Monarch member now too, right. So there's a plaque behind you on the wall. So.
Yeah, no, happy to help any way we can. It's one of the conservation organizations that you're getting your money's worth when you put your dollars in. So I'm happy to be a part of it.
Right on, and we appreciate having you, and thanks for helping out in the Chilliwack show and standing there shaking hands and pretending you know much about sheep as everybody else. No, it's okay. I'm doing the same thing anyway. So, but let's start with a little bit of a quick background on you guys. Start with Waycee. Who are you? Where are you from? How'd you end up in the outdoor community like you are now?
Name's Waycee, from Alberta. I don't know. Me and Tyler, we kind of just met. I don't know how we even met. My cousin was a mutual friend, so we kind of got hooked up. We started talking online, and I was kind of telling him, like, hey, I want to hunt BC. I'd like to get after some goats and do different things. Caribou was kind of actually the main hit list thing for a while. And then, like, fast forward with this lunatic, and we're doing a freaking podcast. And so, I don't even know how we got to where we are, but we're here, and things are rolling good. I don't know. It was Tyler, I think, who started, and I kind of jumped on like episode 2, I think, that's where I kind of got started with it.
Right on. What made you decide to start that podcast, Ty?
I don't know. It was one of those things where I was always on the phone talking to my friends and stuff about hunting and fishing and being in the outdoors and just, normal stuff. And I was like, man, people probably find just normal conversations with regular dudes talking about hunting and stuff we all enjoy, probably find it pretty interesting. There's kind of a lack of like unscripted, not like really contrived hunting stuff out there. I mean, there's more now for sure. But yeah, no, it was just sort of just kind of a fun project, and we didn't know if it was going to have legs or what, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, it's some pretty good BS sessions, and I think we all learn about how much stuff Waycee likes on his bino harness. So
that's his thing. No, it's the other component of it too. Is like I got into hunting as an adult, and you kind of spend a lot of time sorting through different places to learn about hunting, right? There's so many avenues to learn stuff now, and so much of it you learn and then have to relearn later, and it's just kind of one of those things where it's fun to share those experiences, while you're figuring it out and talking to people. And people always talk about the interviews that we've done on the podcast, and it's like a lot of those interviews are just super selfish. I just have people on that I want to talk to, and usually ask them pretty pointed questions about stuff that I care about, right? And then Waycee's our lifelong hunter. You know what I mean? I'm the guy that started as a adult, and people say, that what's the thing we shouldn't say, and it's like, what is it? Adult onset hunter. They say that. It's gross, but I guess that's me, right? And then Waycee's our lifelong, super experienced guy. So there's a good juxtaposition of where we're at in our sort of evolution in hunting, and so it's fun to interview people together. And then Waycee usually gets on a hour-long tear about something completely unrelated, so that's good.
On the locals only.
Yeah, that's
episodes.
all we've been doing lately. We just had Snyder on from Kafaru, and I have to edit about 40 minutes of it out before I can post it. But
so, if you're getting into hunting a little bit late in life, what's the deal behind the traditional bow? You just
I actually started shooting bows before I started hunting. Yeah, I don't know. I like the stick bow. I feel like I don't give up that much shooting it. I feel like a lot of the shots I would take with a compound, outside of my effective range with a stick, a lot of those shots are kind of, you're pushing it anyways. And with the stick bow, you're forced to hunt real close. So you definitely lose opportunity if you're comfortable taking long bombs. But a lot of the country I hunt is thick and close anyway. So like the elk country I hunt in, there's not really too many, 40, 50, 60 yard shots. It's all 10 to 30 anyway. So
yeah, close and personal.
And Waycee's been huge for me on the stick bow, because Waycee's a stick bow guy. So I have somebody to send form videos to continuously, and he tears them apart on a regular basis. So that's cool.
Now with the stick bow guy, that's kind of putting it lightly. I seen a couple of belt buckles there, something about a master bow hunter there. How do you explain that, Waycee?
Yeah. So in Alberta, with the Alberta Bow Hunters Association, kind of one of the fun things they do is they have their awards program. You can work your way up in the program with, you get your small game awards. So you would harvest magpie and a squirrel and a coyote, and there's just a category you have to check off, and then you have to get your big game awards. Kind of the same deal. And then to get your masters, you have to kill so many animals that meet Pope and Young, and then you can get your masters. And then they have their grandmasters, which is so many X amount of species that make Pope and Young. And I think in Alberta, I can't remember, I think there's only 50 grandmasters, and I think there's only 200 and some master bow hunters. So I got my masters. Grandmasters thing is going to be down the road. That's kind of going to be some money hunts, right? For lion and different things, right? So, but no, it's a fun little program, and that's how I kind of, I worked at that for a few years, and it's fun. It's kind of the point of it was to try and get people involved, right? It's fun. Kids start with their small game and work their way up, and they're entering it every year. So, I think it's a good thing that they're doing. I'm actually the traditional archery executive. I sit on the board with the
which is
ABA,
hilarious.
So it's kind of cool. Yeah. which anybody lets me sit on any board.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's fun, and that's what that buckle is about. And my boy actually just wears it. I don't. I probably should put it away, but no, it's been fun.
So if your boy's wearing the buckle, are you training him to get his own buckle one day? Is that in the works?
Oh yeah,
instilling your knowledge.
Yeah, I got them each. I got a bowyer to build each of my boys their own long bows. And so they've been ripping and tearing with those. They're nice little bows. I can't remember the draw weight. I think it's like 14 pounds or something. So they're pretty light, but they have fun and rip them up with that. So I haven't let them touch a compound yet. I want to keep them going on this.
So. Yeah. How important is it passing on the outdoors to the boys like that?
I'd like to think that it's important, but it kind of isn't. Like I don't want to push them. If they want to hunt, they can hunt, but I don't want to push them. Like I don't want to you're going to come hunt bears, right? Like I want them to come hunt with me because I'm just kind of scared I'm going to burn them out sometimes with it, right? So I got to be careful with it. So I'm kind of one of those guys. I don't really force it. If they don't want to go, I don't make them, kind of thing. But I would like to see them carry it on, but we'll see how it goes and see how much they're into it, as they get older here.
Yeah, and the Furies down the road, they're going to be saying the same about you. Don't want to force Dad into it to burn them out.
yeah, pretty much.
Then you're doing the same, Ty. You're always posting. You're out there fishing, taking your kids out. How important is that to you?
It's huge for me. I think it's a good way to keep kids out of trouble, right? And I grew up in the outdoors, not hunting, but fishing and hiking and dirt biking and ATVing and just generally in the woods camping, right? And I didn't really get into too much trouble until I was, well out of my folks' house. But no, it's wicked, man. Like I have 4 kids, and my eldest wakes me up all the time and at 2:00 in the morning asking if we're going fishing. Dude, it's the middle of the night, right? So no, it's wicked. And where we live, there's a lot of opportunity every direction we go. Same with you guys, right? So it's pretty easy to keep the kids busy. But like Waycee said, I don't want to burn them out either, so I won't force them. I grew up playing rep hockey and that kind of thing, and by the time I was 17 years old, I was just over it, right? I haven't watched a hockey game since, so I don't want to do that to my kids, right? I don't want to force them to spend their entire childhood with a fishing rod in their hand, and then by the time they're an adult, they're just over it, right? So I think there's a good balance to be had, but my kids are living for it right now. So
yeah, always calling to go fishing and jump on the boat, hit the river.
Totally.
Did you fish as a kid?
Yeah,
or is that
I did a little bit. My grandfather was my grandfather was a hardcore outdoorsman. I have photos of him with goats and all kinds of stuff, but it kind of skipped a generation. My dad wasn't really into the hunting and fishing thing, but he was into dirt biking and all the other stuff, right? So that's what I did growing up. And then I probably bought a fly rod about a decade ago here and started getting into it and hit some major stumbling blocks as you do with fly fishing. And I kind of tucked it away and kept focused on hunting. And then just recently I met through a mutual friend of ours, I met Matt Sharp from Pacific Angler, and he's completely augmented my fly fishing learning curve to now it's sort of become a obsession for me. So any opportunity I get, I'm on the river or on a lake or something with chucking flies at stuff. So it's pretty fun. Yeah.
Oh, right on. Now, this past hunting season, you guys seem to you had a little bit of an adventure. Waycee, I think, referred to the hunt as standing there getting kicked in the nuts repeatedly. So you guys went up north, went and chased the white ghosts of the mountain. What? How was that for you guys? Like, I know you guys did okay, but I want to hear it from your side of the screen here.
So that was my third goat hunt in 12 months. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So backing up 2 years in 2021, was it, Wace? We had plans to go on an archery goat hunt. And then when the draws came out, I drew a really juicy unit, and we were like, well shit, what are we going to do? Right? We got like this hunt of a lifetime, super hard to draw goat tag. And we're already all planned to go hunt an area nearby for archery. And so me and Wacey were like, whatever, let's just send it. Let's go up where I drew. And if we get her done up there quickly, we'll drop down to town, sleep for a night, then we'll go into the archery zones, right? And we went up there. We had an awesome time. Wacey eventually got Giardia. Hey, Wace. And
oh yeah, it was a little bit rough.
Yeah, it got a little wild there. Then I went back in February with 5 buddies. Froze my bag off for a bunch of days. Saw a whole bunch of goats, but didn't see anything that we could get to without going under, big avalanche risk and that kind of stuff.
So your second goat hunt was a winter goat hunt. That's just one extreme to the next.
But I think I went into it with the expectation of not even getting up the mountain. Do you know what I mean? I talked about it on our podcast in kind of great detail, and I kind of prefaced the podcast by saying I don't think I could recommend a winter goat hunt to somebody that doesn't have gobs of winter mountaineering experience. It's just so dangerous, right? And the guys that are doing it, those guys are animals. The guys that are going out there and crushing it, they just have so much skill and so much experience and so much safety training, right? I took Avi 1 before I did that hunt, and I used it every day of our trip. So it's pretty wild trip. Then fast forward to this year, we were gonna go for a caribou hunt, and they had changed the permit to a company rule, so I couldn't host Wacey for caribou. So we're like, let's go kill goats. So that's what we did. And then Wacey can kind of take it from here.
Yeah. So, where the hell did we?
Well, no. Okay, don't say where we went. That's not good.
Oh, well, I think everybody kind of knows, don't they?
Yeah, it was in BC.
But anyway, so we met in BC, and so Tyler has this trailer, and it's got his side-by-side on it. And I'm kind of opposed to pulling trailers in long distances, especially little utility trailers, because they just eats tires. Like, I'm not a fan of it. I told him, I'm like, I don't want to do that. So, but we end up with this trailer. So, like, the first 4 or 5 hours of driving, we're changing tires. We had jackalls out. We're swapping tires. we had, this trailer has 4 tires. By the end of it, we had 2 left. So that was 1 spare and the 2 off the front. Like, we were driving around with just axles sticking out. So it was a total shit show from the beginning. Right from the jump, I was like off the rails with this shit. Yeah, and then, so we got to where we were going. There were some deactivated logging roads, and we were going to kind of snake our way up, cut some elevation off with the machine, and then just hike from there, which is what we ended up doing. But Tyler seems like he likes to, like, he's really good with the map thing, but sometimes he makes wrong turns, and we end up going up the worst fucking possible spots in human history and almost roll the machine 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, at one point, Wacey was just like hanging off of a side-by-side, just yelling at me. I was like, oh, okay, Maybe we took a wrong turn.
We had our bag strapped to the back of this machine, and he goes through this freaking washout, and gooses it, and our bags go blowing off the back. Shit yard sailed everywhere down the side of the mountain.
Spotters and tripods flying everywhere. It was not good. Not a good start.
Yeah, so we just got to where we were going and hiked up. It was real pretty country. Did some glassing and then spent the night up there. And yeah, it was pretty nice country. Water was kind of a big issue with us there. You know, it seemed like we just couldn't, no matter where we were having hard times at elevation to find water. And I was dying of thirst most of the time. So, and I just don't know how much a guy can carry, you know, like 10 liters. I don't know that's how much a guy can carry, how many days that would get you. But I think for next time, I'm going to frickin' helicopter a barrel of water up top or something. Cause
was this early season?
Yeah, we were in August.
Yeah. When August. Yeah. So so we were like, when's the opener?
I don't say because it tells you where you are then. But yeah, in August, and it was quite dry. Waycee was melting snow and it had all kinds of funky stuff going on in it. I, on the other hand, just turn into a camel when we're hunting and don't eat or drink.
You just Giardia.
No, I'll just suffer.
Yeah. You don't want Giardia, man. That stuff is vicious. It hits you like a freight train. So, but it's funny too, because on this trip, by the time we were finding water, I did not even pump. I was so thirsty. I just stuck my face in the water. So it was high risk, but whatever. We kind of went with the flow.
There's a lot of questionable metaphors that Waycee is using on our recap of it on our podcast that we should probably leave off here. You'll end up with a big explicit tag on your podcast. It won't go good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it was good.
A contrary, like I've never.
Go ahead, Wayce, sir.
Go ahead. But I was going to say, for melting snow, you think it's all, you got this nice white snow up there. When you melt that stuff down, man, there is stuff swimming around in it. And I was drinking it. So, and it didn't get me the second time. So you want to be careful doing that as well.
So yeah, we got into our first spot and we basically got on the spotters, and it was just a ton of nannies and a ton of kids, and we realized we were deep in the heart of the nursery. So after that, it was I think we played rock, paper, scissors, and I think I won. So we bailed off that mountain in a hurry, and then we spent the next, I don't know, 5 or 6 days just glassing and hitting different spots until we eventually turned up the goats that we eventually kill. So yeah, it was not the hunt that we had anticipated. We thought we were going to get up top and spend a week picking out goats and covering country and that kind of thing, but it was more 7 days of scrambling to get on billies in completely random spots, which was actually pretty fun when it was all said and done, you know. It was stressful at the time though.
So you guys were staying at the base of the mountain, and
we were going up and down. I think when we spotted the goats, the billies that we killed, I don't know the elevation anymore, but it's been a while. But we were at the base of this mountain, and I was like looking at my watch, looking at Waycee, looking at my watch, looking at these goats. I'm like, yeah, empty your bag. We're going, right? So we sent it up that last mountain. And like, I think we had eyes on them at like 11 or something like that. And by 3 o'clock they were dead. And then we were like back to the bottom by 11. So we did it up.
We pulled almost 4,000 feet in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Wasn't it 3,000?
Yeah. We made the grave rookie move of, leaving camp at the truck and leaving, I don't know, how much water did you bring? I think I brought 3 liters. Like, not enough water.
Well, I had a 3 liter platypus, and then I had a 1 or 2 liter other backup container. was not even close to
Mine
enough
was gone before
to
we
get
got
you
to the
through
top.
what we were doing.
But no, it was cool. It was rad. It was we like snuck up to the first shoot that Waycee's goat was in the last time we saw it, and we heard him boil out. Like we heard him blow out because the wind had changed and blew our scent through this avalanche chute that he was sitting in. And he came out across. And I'm like looking, I'm like peeking around this corner, like right at the tippy top of these cliffs. And I look back at Waycee and he's like motioning to me like, get out of the way, Ty. And I'm like, I just like lay down and he just starts sending it. There's just 270 rounds winging by me. And then I look back and he's like, thumbs up. I'm like, okay, cool. See ya. I'm going to go find the other goat. Thanks for almost killing me. And then we were cruising and we found my goat up on a shelf just above where his goat went down. So that was cool. I didn't get to almost shoot Waycee though. So that was a bummer.
There's
Right?
always next time.
Yeah.
Didn't do the typical bow hunter and try to get within 10 yards before you realized.
I think honestly, when I was peeking over that edge, I was probably like 30 yards from where the goat was when we glassed him from below Hayways.
Yeah, and the wind. See, I've never really hunted goats before, so I had no idea like what their noses were like, right? Like I didn't know how touchy they were, if they were going to blow out of the area, if they winded us. Because I said to Ty, like the route we took, the wind was really left to right, and the other option we could go on the right side of that mountain, but I didn't know what that was like either. So we went on the left side, which seemed like a little better idea up to the tree line, but. I think what ultimately ended up happening is they winded us real close up. And so the goat I shot, he boiled back out into the adjacent, like to the left side, there was another mountain with a canyon or whatever.
A big rock slide.
He just come out. Yeah, big rock slide. And he just stopped and he's looking downhill. So obviously I think he winded us, but he didn't know where it came from. So we got totally, to be honest, like got shit out how it kind of played out. Like that goat ran. Cause if he would have went over the top, and just out of the country, that would have been it. Right. So, worked out okay in the end.
I honestly still can't believe my goat didn't peel off. Like Waycee mag dumped on his goat because it's a goat and you don't want it to take off down the mountain, right? Waycee sends 5 rounds into it and my goat was just freaking laying there on a cliff, like above us looking down. It was wicked. We killed our goats like maybe 2 minutes apart.
And then all the fun began, eh?
Yeah, it was Waycee. I think Waycee said it a whole bunch of times on our podcast, but he goes, as soon as Tyler started shooting, he goes, I knew we were in trouble.
Yeah.
Empty bags, no water.
Well, they were
time to pack 2 goats off the mountain.
Yeah, they were
in the
full.
sunlight.
Our bags were real full on the way out. So
yeah, and I knew as soon as he started thumping that other goat, I'm like, oh boy. Like I've never skinned a goat, so I honestly didn't know how much meat, but I figured it was going to be enough, and it was enough. Like I don't know what our bags were coming out.
Yeah.
I had to have been 130 pounds probably because we took our hide. He took his hide and he kind of you cape the front legs because your mount is like he's kind of on the rock ledge.
Yeah.
So his hide was probably a little bit more than mine because I kind of just did a shoulder style cape on mine, but it adds up,
I actually packed out a full cape because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. And I'm just...
And that's the story.
No, like I was like, maybe I'll just mount this thing. Like I probably won't kill too many goats. Maybe I'll do a full mount. And then I got home and I was like, hey, I'm going to do a full mount on this goat. My wife's like, where are you going to put a giant billy goat in our house? I'm like, that's a great point. I should mount him to a wall, right? She's like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was a hunt to remember. And the pack out was, everyone's like, oh, you look back on it after and you think how great it was. And I hate it. I don't want to ever do it again, but it was not I don't know. Like the mount I'm doing, I'm putting that goat, he's going to go on an old pack frame. Cause like the most epic part of that hunt was the frickin' pack out. So that's kind of like what I'm going to do is like a pack mount.
It was pretty fun.
Just like Like an old Trapper Nelson style pack?
Yeah, I bought a pile, 4 or 5 of them at an auction. I found out there was an auction that had a bunch of original ones, so I bought a handful. So I got a few mounts already done and some Trapper Nelsons and stuff. But yeah, no, it
Awesome.
should look pretty cool. I'm hoping when it's done here.
So once you start dealing with those goats and you're on top of the mountain, you got no water. Is this when you have your first real oh shit moment?
I don't know if we had an oh shit moment. Did we Wayce, or did you?
No, but when I was butchering my goat, I'm like, man, I've never been this thirsty before. I'm like, this is going to be a terrible pack out. And yeah, it wasn't an oh shit, but I was like, this is going to hurt really bad. So
I'm super lucky. One of you guys' life members, Ronnie, he's like, I had built-in mentorship when I started hunting, and when I got going, he would kind of point me in the right direction. And then one of the first backpack hunts I ever went on with Ronnie, and you're like, you're tough. You grew up playing hockey and lacrosse and getting punched in the face all the time. It's all good. I could do whatever, right? I'm tough. And Ronnie just freaking tried to make me quit for like 7 days, right? And then I shoot this mule deer, and I shot him in a spot I, in retrospect, should not have shot him in. And he's like, okay, let's go. And just, each of us with half a mule deer on our back forever. The farthest distance I would ever want to travel with packing out an animal, right? And I don't know, I just like, when we were packing out that mountain goat, our mountain goats there, Waycee's like, this is the worst pack out I've ever done. And I was like, you got to go hunting with Ronnie. It's just awful. It's just awful. You're good. But no, it was pretty brutal going downhill that far with a whole goat on your back. But I don't know. We turned into each other's support system on the way out. Anyways, we're just lying to each other. It's right there, just a little further, just through these trees.
Ty had the maps pulled up on his phone. I'm like, how far? He's like, oh, we're just about there. We're not even
close.
Because I was borderline, like, I'm going to just lay under this tree till morning and we'll just pick it up from where we left off. But we ended up actually coming out more left. I don't know what direction, maybe more north or where we went up, but I could hear water running. And I just like, I didn't care where in correlation that water was to the truck. I was just going to the water. And when we got there, I just took my bag off and jumped headfirst in the water, just laid in it because I was done. That was it. But it worked out.
It's pretty funny. It was enjoyable. I have a rad photo of us at the truck where like I'm doing like a hang loose sign and Waycee is laying on the ground like he's been shot. Love it. And it's like, it's not very often Waycee goes down, like Waycee's tough as they come, but goats are heavy and water was scarce.
Yeah, no water, 4,000 feet elevation change. That'll break.
It was fun. It was a good time. Mm-hmm. Good memory for sure.
So when's the next time you guys?
I'm going on a sheep hunt with Ronnie in September, I think. And I think Waycee, you're going horseback bighorn, hey?
Yeah, I'll probably actually do 3 or 4 bighorn hunts this year. So I'll probably do a horseback with my dad. And to be honest, that one is just kind of going to be like hanging out with my old man because it's been about 15 years since we sheep hunted together. So, or probably more, probably 18 years. So,
no, right on.
So we're going to go up there and I'm going to get yelled at the whole time. It should be fun.
Relive your childhood.
Yeah.
I should also point out too, Waycee comes from Alberta and shot an absolute stomper goat, which is rad. What was your goat? 8 or 9?
10 inch.
Oh, it's 10-inch Billy, but wasn't it 8 years old?
Oh, 8, yeah, I think 8 years old.
So he's like, I don't think he needs to shoot another goat ever again.
10-inch. You sneaking into the book with that? The
Well,
BC
my
book?
goat went BC book too, but his goat will go Boone and Crockett. Yeah, it's just
on.
he'll be just around 50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's it's a decent first goat.
It was funny when we were.
I remember looking at that thing through the scope, and it had like a big sway back and a big pot belly. I was like, it looks old, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Worked
It was
out.
funny when we were when we were glassing from the bottom when we first spotted him. When Waycee spotted him, he was like, "Hey, what do you think of this goat?" I'm like, "Okay, we're going." Like, don't need to look again. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, right on. So what's your favorite hunt, Ty?
Yeah. Either this past goat hunt with Waycee, excuse me. Just because it was super challenging and mentally tough to stay going, when stuff doesn't go as planned at all, and you have to kind of adapt and change on the fly. And there's a lot of funny stories. Like one night we stayed at the bottom of this mountain, and I'm only 5'9", so I can fit in the back seat of my truck. So I just blow up my pad, lay down, go to sleep, pass out, right? And Waycee's like, "Oh, I don't feel like pitching a tent," so he slept under my canopy. And then my canopy was just like, I think Waycee said ground zero for mosquitoes in the entire world. Just like, he's just doing backflips in the back of my truck all freaking night. But like, I don't know, it's hard to beat like the on the road memories you have of a hunt like that, right? Like all these little small stories that are they're freaking hilarious and they're so fun. And I don't know. So yeah, I think this last goat hunt we had might be my favorite hunt ever. Or then that my first big mule deer hunt with Ronnie, that was pretty cool too.
So a little different than the southern rainforest you're used to running around with the trad bow in.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. What's was there any, like we always ask guests this, the scary moment? Was there any moment on that trip where you guys were like, "Uh-oh, we shouldn't be here"?
I'll let Waycee answer.
Yeah, I don't really. That first spot we were in, I had went out on this knife ridge, and I had went on the right hand side going out, which was pretty casual, like fairly casual. It was a little steep, but sketchy, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't feel too bad about it. But coming back, I took the other side, and I ended up getting cliffed out. And that was one of them spots where I was like, "Yeah, I shouldn't be here right now," because and then to make matters worse, I didn't just turn back because I had come so far down this other side. So I'm like, "Oh, I'm just going to go straight up." And I had my mountain stick with me, which is like an ice axe. So I went and dug. I tried to dig it into the rocks to help pull me up. Yeah, it was just an all around bad deal. That was, and I was like probably an hour away from Tyler at that point. Hey,
yeah, I opted to not go onto the death
glass.
cliffs. I was like, "I'll be over here with the freaking spotter. Thank you."
Yeah. So not really like an oh shit, but like, I really had no business being on that edge like that, but kind of.
I think the big oh shit in the last couple of years is when I realized you were sick on our first goat hunt together. I was like, this dude's way too big for me to carry off this mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were you guys a long way in when that happened?
We're at the tippy top of a mountain. Yeah,
Ooh.
no, it wasn't good. It was like either wait it out, which in retrospect now we know you can't really wait it out. You need medicine, or like go down now because the next couple of days were going to be straight rain and it was pretty sketchy where we were. Excuse me. But yeah, by the time we got down that night, it was I don't know. Waycee was shooting out of both ends, so. That was actually pretty.
It was bad. It was a bad. Yeah, it was bad. It was like if nobody's had Giardia, I don't know if there's different versions of it or different versions of viruses you can catch, or if I even had Giardia, but I had some sort of virus and I'd picked it up from real real sketchy water. We had no business even
I have
pumping
a
out
video
of.
of it. It's wild.
Just marmot shit. And the only difference between me and Tyler, we both pumped, but Tyler steri penned and I didn't, and it caught me. So, but when we got down, we kind of went down. Tyler, like he said, I was acting kind of weird, whatever. But when we got to the hotel room, man, because we got back to whatever town we were at, Tyler's like, let's just grab a room, because he's like, you're kind of fucked up. So we grabbed a room, and I just stood in the shower for probably an hour, just shivering. And then I crawled into bed, and I told Tyler, I'm like, don't make sure I fucking wake up, because I was at that point, I was so kind of far gone. I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to wake up. And then the next day, I wasn't feeling too bad, but it was more the puking and stuff that got you the next day. And trying to drive back to Alberta while doing that was a freaking train wreck. So and then kind of like how I got away from him, I have a buddy of mine who's a doctor. He's an emergency room doctor. I phoned him on the way home. I'm like, Doc, I'm like, this is what I got going on. He's like, did you drink bad water? I'm like, yeah. So he knew right, because he's a sheep hunter. So he knew right away what I had done. So he wrote me a prescription. So as soon as I got back to town, I filled it. So I was on these meds for about 7 days before I kind of cleared up on it. So now he wrote me a prescription big enough, so I doubled it. So when I go into the mountains now, I carry Giardia antibiotics is for it. So if it ever happens again,
just drink a bottle of water, pop a pill, and just keep going.
Well, hopefully keep you alive for a while, but it's terrible.
It was pretty wild. So basically what happened, we were in these cliffs looking at these billies, and there's this one super nice billy that I wanted to shoot, and Waycee just started making like the most irrational argument for how we were going to get to this billy, and I was like, is this guy high? What's going on? And so I started talking to him, and he just like wasn't making sense about anything. I was like, hey, how far are we from the tent? He's like, oh, it's right there. I'm like, we're like kilometers from the tent, right? So I was like, something's up. Let's go back. And we pulled the plug that night, eh? But yeah, that was for sure sketchy, because you could tell it was weird.
Yeah, that were you sick the first night after you guys already pulled the plug, or were you?
No, the first night, like, when Tyler got me to the truck finally. So one of the deals with that, what I had, I don't even know if I want to call it Giardia, but it's kind of what it is. But one of your things is like, you can never quench your thirst, right? So you just drink and drink and drink and drink and drink, and you're thirsty. So Tyler had like one of them blue jugs in the truck. I don't know what is that, like 12 liter or something.
Huge.
And I just sat there and drank it all till I was like puking water, because you can't get enough water in you. And it's just it's the wildest trip like you could ever go on. So yeah, that was the first day. That's what that was. And then, by the time we got to town, it was hours later, and I was already into the frickin' body shutting down phase kind of thing. So
yeah. So
your key takeaway from backcountry hunting in BC is filter your water.
Yeah, and I did pump it. I catadine. I had a catadine, and but whatever. I don't know if I had that filter. I've had that pump forever. Never changed the filter. I've been using it for years. So it was kind of maybe partially neglect on my part. And you know what the kicker to it all is? I carry chlorine tabs as backup for my pump, right? So you could drop a tab or two in to sterilize, but for whatever reason, I didn't do that. So this year I switched up pumps and I run a SteriPen now plus chlorine tabs. I'm pretty safe if I can be, if I'm not dying of thirst.
Oh, right on. So that's many factors, I guess, could be play at that one, but it's
a fun story though.
Yeah, exactly. You guys got any winter plans here? Some predator hunting, get out, maybe chasing steelhead. Anything going on between either of you guys?
Yeah, I'm sure Waycee's killing yotes, eh, Wace?
Yeah, just normal stuff. Yeah, shooting fur bearing animals. No trapping this year for me. Kind of just hanging around home, doing different things. But yeah, no, not much. Just canines of some kind usually is on the target list.
I've dove into the 2-hand fly fishing spay world here, so I'm heavy on the steelhead right now. So I've been freezing my bag off in the river every chance I get. So that's what I've been doing lately. It's pretty fun.
Have you hooked into it?
I'm like one for, or no, what am I? I'm like 1 for 5 for solid hookups on takes right now. I haven't landed one yet, so no, it's fun. It's I don't know. I should probably be fishing with gear and just a bead to cover some holes that are a little better. But it's so fun on the fly. I don't know. It's just, even if you're not catching anything, it's fun to go cast. Yeah,
right on. So when we gonna start seeing more from you guys on the podcast front? Get a little stale.
Yeah. So we got 2 in the can, and I just gotta tune them up. Maybe I should post one tonight, anyways.
Yeah. Well, though, I think the one that me and you did isn't too bad.
Yeah, I think that one can let it rip. We can let that one rip. I'll post that one tonight. There you go. Compliments of Greg. And then we have one from Snyder I have to just cut some out of. We just do them for fun, eh? Like we're not really trying to accomplish anything, and the sponsors on the front end are either our buddies or Wild Sheep Society, and just like the whole thing is meant to be a good time and casual. And if somebody has something they want to get on there and talk about, they're more than welcome to. And the whole thing with like interviewing famous people kind of happened by accident. Like I wasn't really soliciting that, but then I did a couple interviews, and then people were like, "Hey, have this person on. Hey, have this person on," and it kind of spiraled, and the next thing you know, it's like Cam Haynes is on the podcast. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you've reeled in some big names from just going to as a shoot the shit podcast to Haynes, Shockey, Barklow, Schneider.
Yeah, we have Barklow and Snyder on pretty regularly. There's a few Snyder podcasts in the vault that we haven't been able to post, but maybe we'll do maybe we'll release him one day when he's retired.
Some juicy stuff hidden in the vault, eh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get down there and what's he hunt down in Texas? Is it the Oodad he's down there chasing all the time?
At Topo, Texas with Scotty. He guides down there with him. I think it's just an excuse to get away from the office for him, but yeah, they're down there hanging out. They invited us down last year, anyways, and it was COVID pandemonium, so we'll have to get down there one of these years here.
Well, we look forward to following along on your Waycee and Ty in Texas.
Sling arrows at some weird sheep.
Right.
Yeah. I was trying to get Waycee to come out for the convention in March, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'd like to go away, but my schedule's kind of full with different stuff. I got this ABA thing coming up and different things.
Yeah, so. We both have 4 kids too, so it's tight.
One day.
Oh, you guys can do the circuit if you're up in northern Alberta. There, you stop in at Dawson Creek and hit our northern convention. It's not too far for you. Yeah. That's this weekend.
Yeah, no, I know. I head back to work tomorrow, so yeah, it's tough. But I definitely would like to try and make more things. That I kind of wanted to do them. Some of them shows in the States too would be fun. Some of them bigger ones, but.
Sheep Show 2024, Reno. We'll see you there.
Yeah, I just finished listening to your guys.
Were you guys down there?
Yeah, they were in.
Yeah, we were both down there. Kyle's actually he's a big dog down there. He's vice chair of the foundation.
Nice.
Yeah, I just finished listening to you guys' interview you did with Justin. How do you say his last name? Kowalski? Is that how you say it? No.
I think he said Kaluski, wasn't it, Kyle?
He's a ski.
Yeah,
That's good.
something like that. Yeah.
What a goat, eh? That
He's a
thing's
ski. Yeah.
insane.
Not too shabby. I see somebody on Facebook was commenting, "Oh, it'll be broken in this lifetime," and
Yeah,
Greg's
right.
like, "Yeah, maybe, maybe
That's
not."
wild. The photo that
giant.
he posted of it while it was on the hoof still, that like weird cave thing he's in. So wild.
Bizarre.
So wild. Super cool too. And super cool dude. I actually sent that podcast to some non-hunting friends of mine, and I was like, "Okay, listen to this dude and listen to how passionate this dude is about conservation and about hunting, and how he's just like a normal dude and he doesn't have like some weird bloodlust or anything. Like, this is like the essence of what hunting is about to people that care about hunting, that aren't just like, you know, whatever, shooting out the door of their pickup truck, whatever, right? But this is like people that care about hunting." And I sent it to these folks, and they both listened to it. They're like, "Wow, that's amazing." And I was like, "Yeah, right. See, hunters aren't dicks." So, no, it was good. That was a really great interview, guys. I'm glad you did it, and it was fun to listen to.
Yeah, no, he sought us out down in Reno too, and right away that guy's his passion for, it's like he wants to just change the way the world views hunters and do something big for conservation, and it's the energy coming off him was pretty neat. See someone that passionate, and no one's like, we've never met him before. He's a member, but that was it. We've never met him.
That's wicked. Yeah, we have a group chat with some of our goat buddies, and that photo came through the group chat sometime in August, and we were like, "Whoa!" And then just the past couple months here, it's kind of all of the measurement stuff has come out, right? It's just like unreal big.
Mm-hmm.
So we could start pulling names if that picture came through in August to you guys. We would know.
Yeah, for sure. No, I feel like every goat that gets killed goes through that group chat. It seems like if it's been posted on the internet anywhere, it's in there. Yeah. So what about you guys? I feel like I'm usually asking you guys questions. Like, what's the first hunt for you two?
Go ahead, Greg.
May will do the standard head up north and chase black bears with the kids, and the brother and the nieces and nephew, and big old rigmarole to get our pepperoni and sausages for the year.
Yeah.
And then we'll be September. I got kind of a neat opportunity. My son and my old man, and then my brother and buddy Steve will be flying in, and we got, we're gonna take, good chance we'll take my son, and a good chance it'll be my dad's last backcountry big to do. So it'd be kind of a neat passing of the torch, so to speak, between generations, and have us all there. It'd be neat. Get my son out there the first time, and my dad for not his last hunt, obviously, but it'll probably be his last real big chasing stones and caribou, and maybe connect on a couple. Fingers crossed.
All right, Kyle, let her rip.
Yeah, I've actually got a goat draw for February. I've still got, but it's like you said, winter goat, and I got no AV training, so
are you thinking about going?
Out. But I am. I got a buddy of mine that I got drawn with, and he's got some experience back there, and maybe we just go out for a week and we look at the mountain and go, it's not safe, but we're still going out, right? And still looking at shit. So pretty stoked about it. I was going to try and go in November, and just kind of things ran away. And then I got the kitchen pass. The wife's like, we need a goat hide. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm here to serve, sweetheart. So I'll make the sacrifice for the family. So we'll see if it works out. A lot of it's depending on what the conditions are like and stuff. And yeah, we'll see how it goes, and hopefully that works out. And then I got a stone trip planned for August. We're going to do the opener again. We kind of switch it up every year, and we don't even have a flight booked or whatever, so I don't know if we do something hike in or what we do. It'll be interesting to see, but yeah, pretty stoked about that. And so that's kind of all that's on the radar right now. Spring Bear, obviously, we go every year for that. It's more of a beer drinking session than anything, but just to get out in the bush again.
That's
right?
wicked. That's exciting. That's exciting about your February goat. That one is. I know I just finished saying I wouldn't tell somebody to go do it, but also like go do it because it's super cool to go see and look. And if you're going into it with reasonable expectation and a reasonable like look at your own skill set of like, I'm not going to die doing this, I think it's a wicked time because you can glass from the bottom in the winter pretty effectively, right? So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, and you hear lots of stories where you can, like the right spots, you can, in the wintertime, you can drive a sled right up to a goat in theory, right? And in certain spots, if you're lucky, right? So I have no idea with where I'm going if that's the case, but yeah, just go out and take a look, and if it's not safe, then don't do it. And yeah,
totally right. We had on mine, there was 6 dudes including me, and so we broke off in twos, and we were all glassing different sides of this mountain for 5 days, and we had we're talking on radios and stuff, right? It was like the best time, and we were pulling out every couple days or whatever to warm up, and we're like sitting on this one knob glassing on the radio. So, you know the kids show Blippi? Do you know what that is? No,
I don't know. No.
Okay, Greg's got young kids. Blippi's like this super dorky YouTube thing. He like wears blue and orange. He's total dork, right? But a couple of the guys on the hunt had young kids too, right? So Anthony comes on the radio and he's like, "We've spotted Blippi. We've spotted Blippi." It's like the goat from the summer that me and Waycee were on, right? So, whop, everybody rips over there on the sleds, and then we just sat on this goat for 2 days. Like, we can't get to him, like, without dying. So, like, mission accomplished, I guess, right? We ended up heading up a spot of the mountain to go look at another goat, but it was like one of those things where it's just a wicked time. Freezing. It was like negative 32 the last day we were there. Just stupid. So fun.
Yeah.
What's that?
Sounds fun.
The type 2 fun?
Yeah, but just like, I mean, as long as you're never in serious danger, right? It sucks at the time and you're cold and you're trying to figure out how to get your digits warmed back up. But other than that, I mean, whatever. It's all good stories. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear how it goes, Kyle.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll see what the conditions are like and stuff. But I was talking to a buddy that does a lot of winter stuff, and he says never go out before Valentine's Day in up in that country. So we'll see what that translates into. And yeah, so it's on the books, but to be determined.
That's
so
cool.
We'll see how it goes. So yeah.
So I think we're getting close to the time there. Where do people find you guys? Where do we find Wilderness Locals?
Our Instagram page is at Wilderness Locals. The website is wildernesslocals.net, and yeah, you can find us on anywhere that podcasts are streamed. Yeah, basically. Waycee, is your Instagram still private?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just follow our podcast page. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Right on.
I got a question for Waycee.
Yeah.
So what's better, hunting in Alberta or hunting in BC?
BC has the opportunities that we don't got here. A few of them, right? Like you guys have a lot more sheep opportunity, a lot more mountains, and caribou and stuff like that. But Alberta's got its stuff too. We got quite a few species. I don't know. Right now, I'm looking at BC all the time. Like I want to go do this and I want to go do that, but I think there's guys in BC that maybe look at Alberta the same way. I don't know what's best, but I do like both. I think I think Alberta has its real good perks too, so it's hard to say.
I've taken a few buddies over the years out to Alberta with me. Just when I lived out there, I had a buddy come out once, and then since then I've gone out and hunted with buddies out there, and just so the BC guys are just like, their eyes are wide open about the abundance of wildlife. Like, on mountain hunting in BC, you don't tend to see a lot of game. It's pretty dense, and there's pretty good game there, but you don't see it because it's treed, but you get on the prairies and you look and you see 100 mule deer or 200 elk, and you're just like, it just blows these guys' minds when they go out there and see that. Hey, it's really, really cool to see that reaction the first time.
Yeah, we do have really good game numbers. It seems like our system, a lot of our stuff is draw. Like, I think British Columbia, the bulk of your guys' stuff is pretty much over the counter. I think there is some sheep draw stuff, right? Bighorn and different things. I guess you do have your limited entry or whatever, I guess it's called. But
yeah,
in Alberta, like we were talking before the show started, like with priority, and we'll put it, like me and my buddies, we put in 15, 18 years for a single tag, so we wait our turn, which kind of, I think, really does. It's not a perfect system, but I think it does help with some of the age structure and numbers as well. I think we get some good numbers for that reason.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, and not to go down a rabbit hole, but in BC, there's not, I don't think, as much of an emphasis on trophy quality. In Alberta, it's a thing, right? Like trying to harvest these old mature bucks, and it's just a different mentality. Guys aren't going out and shooting, fork horns as regularly, and not passing judgment, but like they're managing better for trophy quality, I think, in Alberta than we are on the coast or in BC, in my opinion. But
it's a real thing here. Age structure and age, like, it's pretty frowned upon if guys are shooting young. Like, it happens, and I'm not trying to harp on anyone, but most of, like, 100% of the guys I run with and that I kind of kick it with and hunt with, it's all age structure. Even if that deer scored 120 inches, if he was a freaking 8-year-old deer, I mean, that's what everyone's after, right? Old deer.
Yeah. Well, and that's one thing with the priority system. If you got 15 years, you're not going to screw around and shoot a raghorn, right? Like a dink. You're going to wait and shoot a decent animal. It's like you said, you pull a 15-year elk draw, you're gonna set away your whole season, and you go kill a decent one, because you're not going to get another kick at it for another 15 years, right? Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of the differences between the provinces. But I do like BC. The thing with Alberta that kind of drives me nuts is we have such a thin sliver of mountains, and a lot of guys hunt sheep, so it's kind of combat sheep hunting within BC. Like, when I first hunted BC with the first year with Tyler, I said, what if we run into guys on the mountain? Tyler's like, it's no big deal, just walk over the next ridge. So it's like, in Alberta, it's kind of tough to do sometimes, but in BC, it just seems like that's how it is, man. If you run into guys, just keep going. Like, there's so much country. So I really love that about BC. Lots of opportunity, if you want to work for it.
I think a lot of dudes in BC, and I say this all the time on our podcast, I think a lot of dudes in BC don't realize the opportunity that they have in their own backyard. That you can hunt almost anything here, over the counter. Like, some of the most like world renowned hunting. Like, there's no better place to hunt stone sheep. There's no better place to hunt mountain goats. Like, anywhere in the world, is there? I don't think so. And it's over.
Yeah. I don't know if we don't have the quality of mountain goats here. I don't know if we have big mountain goats in BC, but
yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
I just mean, like, I think a lot of guys miss it because everybody wants to complain about our LEH system and this and that. And it's like, dude, you don't even need the LEH system. You can literally go. Where else can you do that?
Yeah. I got a proposal for you, Waycee. I think we should do a trade, an Alberta-BC trade. So what we'll do is you can transplant some of those pronghorns on our mountains, and we'll send you some stone sheep for the prairies. So I think that seems like a pretty fair trade, and then we'll just diversify a bit, right?
Yeah, I think that'll work. I think the pronghorns might have a tough time, but when I was down south for that mule deer tag, I was running into big herds. They're such a crazy animal. You'll be sitting on a hill just glassing mule deer, and Tyler can speak to this, and you just watch those antelope. They just come out of nowhere, and they're just always running. So they just run by through your spotter, and they're gone off into the distance.
We figured out
pretty cool.
We figured out the best way to corner a pronghorn, though, by accident. Hey, Wace? I got this little trophy truck thing a few years ago. We're like ripping on these like gas pipeline roads, like way too fast. And if you get going the same speed as a pronghorn, they eventually just stop and look at you. They're like, what the hell is that? So yeah, there you go. That's a tactic for you. Put that in your tips and tricks section.
No, but we definitely take some stones out here. Yeah. That'd be nice.
You know, I have for so many years I've thought of this, and like more so now that I go back to Alberta from BC. But you know, you look at the Fraser River and stuff, and yeah, there's some mountains there. Don't get me wrong, I get it, but you know, you just see these sheep hanging out in the river hills, like they're in the coulees and stuff like that. And I just like in southern Alberta, like down where my mom and dad used to live in that country, I'd hunt down there. I go back there and I just think like I could see them. You know, I could see sheep in that country, right? I just like I know it's not realistic and it's not going to happen, but the habitat in some ways is quite similar, you know. And you do look like in Mexico, those desert bighorns in Sonora, I think like the maximum height of mountains was 3,000 feet, right? They don't, you know, it's not like they're like we see stone sheep in that 6,000 foot range, like 5 to 7 or 6 to 8 or whatever they say it is, right? But I think for these bighorns, they don't, you know, they're not quite as specific. They just are where they are, right? But anyway, I'm not going to transplant stone sheep to Alberta, so you can save the hate mail, guys.
Yeah.
The BC outfitters are losing their mind right now.
Wacey's got one in his barn right now.
Nursing it.
So what do you guys...
Awesome. Sorry, Greg, that was a little segue.
I got one quick question. Where do you guys think... I don't know, you guys are more plugged in than me. Do you guys think that caribou hunt's going to kind of come back for non-residents and stuff to be able to hunt in the next few years? Or...
So I think... there's a lot of stuff going on with reconciliation. I think that's part of the puzzle. Waycee, I think, is part of it, and I'm not going to dive into it because I don't know enough about it. So I think they're trying to figure a lot of that stuff out. But I think reconciliation is part of that piece, and trying to get understand about where we are harvest wise and stuff like that. So I don't have an answer for you, and it's funny. We sit on the provincial hunting trapping advisory team with the province. Obviously, we don't determine that specifically, but that's the type of stuff that gets talked about in that arena, the regulation part of it. But I don't know. I think right now with reconciliation, it's a difficult thing because they're just trying to sort stuff out. There's a lot of stuff they just don't know, and a lot of moving pieces. And we've seen what happened in the Northeast in the Peace region around moose and going to LEH there too. So I'm not overly optimistic, and I think they're just trying to figure it out. So hopefully once things settle down and they've got more of a clear path, they will. But right now I think it's pretty tough. So
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm just curious. I see where anybody could see that in the next few years.
Greg, what do you think? I don't know.
I think you nailed it. Some work to do with reconciliation, and I'm sure if we can get numbers to bounce back, and they're starting to figure it out with some of their predator management tactics up there, and it's showing there's proof that it's working in some areas. So we get numbers to bounce back and fix some things that are wrong with what's going on up there. I think it could be back in a few years, or maybe I shouldn't say a few years, but down the road I think it'll be back. But I've been saying that about the grizzly hunt as well, so here we are.
Yes.
Is there any campaigns you guys have on the go right now for sign here, that type of thing?
We do. We have we're running act now right now for the CCFR support, or the supporting the not supporting showing our displeasure of the C21 bill. This almost said supporting that bill, but no, we don't do that.
Yeah, it's rad. I generally go to that Wild Sheep Society news feed, to see what I need to be doing, and it's everybody that listens to this already knows that, but I like to kind of point people to it so they know what they should be doing, right? So it's good. You guys do a great job.
Well, we sure appreciate what you guys do, and getting that narrative out there and using your voice to share the messaging, and it's again, the Wild Sheep BC, like our members we're pretty special. And the one thing I was going to do is make sure I got Waycee signed up as a life member before the podcast was over. So I guess I got a little work to do.
Didn't know it was going to cost you $1,000 to be here.
No, but all joking aside, appreciate all you guys do, and for sure, and there is some stuff on the horizon that we're working on, but right now the big one that we heard from a lot of our members with this C21 amendment and what was going on with the whole SITKA process, and we had Rod Giltaka from the CCFR on, and we've thrown some money, and this was in support from our membership, their way to support their lawsuit and. Sort of trying to get things rolled back, because next thing you know, we won't have any firearms to kill anything. We're worried about hunting. Well, and wildlife members don't have to worry about it because we'll have nothing to go after them with. And that's a little bit of fear mongering, and granted, and I think it's a little excessive, but I do think that it's gone. If we look at what's changed in the last 2 years with firearms in this country, I think it's something we need to pay attention to. So, yeah, we're jumping on that right now, and I think we're going to have Rod up at our fundraiser in Kamloops, and he'll be in the crowd just, talking to our members and stuff like that. And I know they're really grateful for the support we've shown them as an organization. So, but we got some more conservation stuff in the pipe. We're just going to keep making a lot of noise around conservation and making sure wildlife and wild sheep needs get taken care of. Is definitely, we got lots on the go. But, right now we've given the government a bit of a soft pass, because with Together for Wildlife, they're still figuring a lot of stuff out, I think, and but they better get their act together pretty quick, because we're just like, we got to do better for wildlife, and just so expect more.
It's
from
interesting
the
stuff, and it's always nice to check in and learn from you guys and see what's going on and what we should be doing. So,
well, likewise, straight back at you, man. Call it a night, Greg. Are we done? You got anything else for the boys? I
think we're good. I think that's
okay.
It's a good. We had heard enough of Ty, so
that's great.
Appreciate it, guys, and
yeah, you get a little more than we do. So.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Have a great one, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming on.